President, honourable members, recent tragic events across the globe, including the wildfires in California, the floods in Valencia and in Central Europe, show more than ever the urgency of fighting climate change. The recent report from the Copernicus Climate Change Service shows that 2024 was the hottest year on record, and for the world's land and ocean going back to 1850, and the first calendar year with global average temperature anomalies reaching 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. 2024 was not an outlier. In fact, each of the past 10 years was one of the 10 warmest years on record. All data points to one conclusion. Human-induced climate change remains the primary driver of extreme air and sea surface temperatures. The rapid increase in global temperatures already leads to significant negative impacts across the world. We know that extreme temperatures and high humidity contribute to increased levels of heat stress. And the extreme rain and floods experienced in 2024 are a tragic reminder that we are all impacted by climate change. The target of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius is still alive, but we need urgent action. The EU is pursuing efforts to keep 1.5 degrees Celsius within reach, and our climate policies are consistent with this target. The message is simple. The more we do now, the easier and cheaper it will be to reach our targets of collectively agreed temperature goals and preserve our economic security, health and the way of life. Almost exactly 5 years ago, we adopted the European Green Deal that set out our commitment to become a modern, resource-efficient, competitive net zero economy, with no person and no place left behind. And we have shown that we can successfully reduce our emissions while growing our economy. Since 1990, emissions have been reduced by 37%. And in the same time period, the EU's gross domestic product grew by 68%. The EU has a strong record of reducing emissions. The reduction in emissions in 2023 was remarkable, an 8% reduction compared to 2022. While we acknowledge that a part of this was due to some reduction in industrial output between 2022 and 2023, the vast majority was driven by reductions due to carbon pricing under the ETS, namely massive additions of renewable energy, but also through energy efficiency improvements in energy-intensive industries. We remain on track to meet our 2030 climate target and climate neutrality by 2050. As the next step, set out in the political guidelines and following our obligations under the European Climate Law, we plan to soon put forward a legislative proposal to include the next intermediate target of net 90% reduction by 2040. This will further reinforce predictability and give investment certainty for our business and our citizens. We must combine ambitious action on climate, competitive industry and prosperous society. Europe's competitiveness will be the key objective underpinning the forthcoming work of this new European Commission. In particular, with the Competitiveness Compass that we will announce next week and the Clean Industrial Deal a bit more than a month from now. We want to foster opportunities in evolving clean tech sectors and help energy-intensive industry throughout the transition. Our action must be just and fair for all. We need to mitigate the rising costs of energy and transform the jobs associated with the technologies of yesterday into high-quality jobs of tomorrow. We also need to come forward with new nationally determined contribution in time for the COP30 in Belém later this year. This will also send a strong signal to our partners around the world to step up global climate action as all parties work to develop new post-2030 nationally determined contributions. According to the UNEP Emissions Gap Report of 2024, the EU share of global greenhouse gas emissions lies now at 6%. The EU cannot solve the climate crisis on its own. International cooperation remains at the heart. The Commission is also stepping up its carbon market diplomacy, providing people and expertise to support the development of robust carbon pricing or emissions trading support systems by our partners. The heat record year of 2024 also highlights the importance of action of big emitters, specifically the significant role of the G20 to lead the way. Developed countries need to show that they are aiming for the highest possible ambition and need to underpin this with implementation, reflected in annual emission cuts. Developing countries, especially the most vulnerable and island member states, are the hardest hit, while having contributed least to the climate crisis. The EU is strongly supporting our partner countries to respond to this climate crisis. With over $30 billion in 2023, the EU and its 27 member states continue being the biggest provider of international climate finance. Under the Paris Agreement, countries around the world committed to make all finance flows consistent with a pathway towards 1.5 degrees Celsius. This commitment is a key driver for mobilizing finance and supporting the energy transition and economic transformation. Besides the support we deliver, let us also consider that global action brings with it opportunities for European industry. The world needs to decarbonize. We can offer the technologies and products to do so and invest in this global transition. Improving climate preparedness and resilience is crucial for determining also our security, our well-being, and our prosperity, and also our competitiveness. We will prepare an ambitious climate adaptation plan to support member states on preparedness and planning, and to ensure regular science-based risk assessments. We want to develop this initiative together with this Parliament, the member states, and all relevant stakeholders through a broad, open and participatory process.